All right, we're here, we're queer and excited. Hello, everyone listening. Welcome to Deeper Conversations with me, your host, Matthew Silvers. We are starting a podcast and I am very, very excited. Everybody go grab some food, grab some wine, some water. Let's hydrate. I'm going to try and make sure that I'm not screaming into this mic. I have a very loud voice. I bought a podcast mic. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see me. I am shirtless because why not do a podcast shirtless on the loneliest day ever? I'm actually really obsessed with Valentine's Day. If you don't know me, I'm obsessed with love. And that is sort of the centerpiece of what this podcast is about. We're going to talk about communication. We're going to talk about the LGBTQ community because if you are from TikTok, you know that it's sort of kind of a big issue for me about talking about it because I think there's a lot to be said, and I'm very excited to talk about it. So on top of that, I also want to talk about the Golden Globe nominations and different holidays, some family stuff. And all about my life and everything in between. So the focus is love. And I do everything out of ambition and love. Like I literally do so much work knowing one day the only thing that's going to matter is the person that's in front of me that loves me for me and loves me 100%. And I am very excited for it. So, welcome to Deeper Conversations with me, Matthew Silvers. I don't know if I'm going to say my full name every time. I think I probably will, just to introduce myself. This podcast is by myself. We will be having a lot of guests on, and the majority of the time we'll be having guests on. Sometimes I might just do some solo podcasts. I feel like that might be really fun. I have a lot to say, a lot to talk about, and I'm going to get the word out. If you're watching on YouTube, I have this little cute little peace mug. I've got some coffee in it. So if you ever hear me taking a break, because I am by myself for this podcast, I just really want it to be special. I want it to be fun. I want it to be soothing and exciting and definitely romanticizing. So if you hear me take a break in any podcast alone, which I will announce, I'll probably have some sort of drink and I might drink. So, take that how you will. You might hear me gulp. I'm so sorry. Apologies. I have coffee today. I've become a coffee drinker back when I started working at Starbucks, March of 2020, excuse me, during this whole pandemic. And I quit and I quit the job, but the coffee addiction stayed. So I got a habit out of it. So if you don't know me, hi, my name is Matthew Silvers. Um, Name would go in lights, porn star name, you name it. It's a pretty good name. Don't love the last name. We're working with it. I'm 20 years old. I currently live in Denver, Colorado, and I am gay. Very, very gay. And sometimes it hurts to be gay, but it's fun. It's a good time, and we're going to get into all of it. I have stories, and during this podcast, I kind of want to introduce myself and I want to talk about some of my own experiences in that general vicinity of conversation because it's Valentine's Day and I'm lonely for the 20th year in a row, which I know there's people out there who are like, I've been single for 26 years of my life. It's nothing. And you know what? It's hard. It's really hard. It's really difficult, and it's not what I want at all. There's nothing I want more in life right now than a boyfriend. And I say that because right now I would love someone to help split the income and help cook. That's it. I mean, everything else that comes along with it's great, but like those two things I want so bad. So, if anybody would like to know what I do for work, I'm actually a real estate agent here in Denver, Colorado. I just started about 3 weeks ago. If anybody's in the area and listening, if you know of anybody looking to buy or sell, girl, hit me up. I don't know how this whole SoundCloud thing works. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to see where I can put all of the information, but I think I can put links in. I know I can put them on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to put my link tree down below. It's got everything that you need to know. My YouTube, my merch. I have a Misfits merch collection that I'm obsessed with. And I don't have pictures in any of it yet because I don't have any samples because the samples got lost in the mail. So I've been dealing with that this week, and it's not what I want to be dealing with. And the post office people are very disrespectful, except for one guy who is also gay. We match each other's energy. We like each other. And I can tell that he gets berated at work, and I'm not here for it. I'm not okay with it. So let's go back. I'm gonna get a little bit off track sometimes, make it a little tangy. But so what do I do for work? I'm a real estate agent here in Denver, Colorado. I'm also writing a book. I cannot believe I'm saying these things. I've been so under wraps about a lot of stuff. I've said them here and there, but I kind of like sometimes like want to keep surprises. But I also probably should talk about them, get them out, self promote a little bit. I just don't want to sell myself out. I don't even know really what that term means, but you know, I don't want to be like pushy about it. But sometimes, you know what? I work my butt off, and you know what, I deserve it. I deserve to talk about it. So I'm producing an album, I'm writing a book, developing an app, which is slowly coming together but also taking forever. I have a merch line, I have a YouTube, I have a TikTok, and I sort of supplement my income right now by door dashing. I also show houses for a flat fee. So that's really exciting. I love it. I have a lot of hobbies. That's just what I do for work. I also do a lot of hobbies, but those hobbies I typically don't do a lot unless it's literally like on my downtime. I'm watching Netflix or oddly playing video games recently. And when I say play video games, I mean Mario, literally Mario. I have two games on my Switch. Both are Mario Kart and Mario Odyssey, I think is what it's called. And I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I love Mario. It makes me feel nostalgic. I'm 20 years old, but it makes me feel nostalgic and it's great. So, Valentine's Day, let's talk about it. For all those single people out there, hi, I see you. We're here, we're queer, we're lonely, and someday we will find our true love. If that is what you're seeking, which is 100% what I'm seeking, which I'm going to go into that more. And I'm going to write that down because my thoughts go rampant and I need to figure out how to keep everything on track. So, if you haven't already, go to my Instagram. I have posted some very sensual, raunchy pictures, which is so new for me. It's become a tradition to do a couple of things on Valentine's Day because I'm lonely. I've been lonely ever since I started dating in February of 2019. I've attempted to date. I've never been in a relationship before. Every single person, I can't get past the second date. I can't do it. I don't know why. It just, I can't. Maybe by listening to this podcast, you'll slowly figure out maybe why, and you can tell me. But I've never gotten past the second date, and Valentine's Day is a very lonely time. And the past 2 years, I've done two things. One, I've gone to see a movie by myself, and two, I've taken photos of myself. And last year's was really cool. Uh, because it was like a car photo shoot of Orlando in the background because I used to live in Florida. And I took my car, I took my ring light, and I went and I took incredible photos. I still love those photos in my red suit. However, if you've seen the ones from this year, you know that is a vastly different vibe. I decided this year that I wanted to do a triple set of photos based on 50 Shades of Grey. I just recently watched all three of them. Yes, all three of them for the first time back in October. And I'm kind of obsessed. We're going to kind of get into everything that I'm obsessed about in these films. I might do a whole episodes on 50 Shades because I would love to. I love 50 Shades, love the music. Like I said, we'll get into it. However, I just love the whole aesthetic. And I was like, okay, I would like, let me just do this. And then I was like, how fun would it be to have 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades Darker, then 50 Shades Freed, and do a triple set of photos for Valentine's Day. And each one, you get less and less clothing. And I have never, you guys, in my life, I have never taken really a shirtless photo like that. Actually, I've never taken a shirtless photo like that in general. I've taken like maybe a handful of shirtless photos of myself just for workout progress reasons. That's it. Um, and some here and there grinder photos, but that's for another day. So I took those photos and I looked at myself, and mind you, I'm very Italian. I have a lot of hair. I shaved. It was a lot. I cut myself a lot. You can't see that really in the photos, hopefully crossing my fingers. However, they came out and I looked at them and I said, that is not what I look like. That is not what I look like at all. Like, girl, where did you come from? Like, my insides came out and said hello to my outsides, because girl, I'm gorgeous and I'm all about self-love and I'm trying to get into it. And oh God, I just love it so much. And these photos are just incredible and I love them. And I'll probably end up posting a couple more, because I was only, on Instagram, you're allowed to choose 10, a photo set of 10. And I think there's just so many that I love that I'm going to post some more. And they're raunchy and they're sensual and I love it. I love it so much. They're so good. And I have been going to the gym the past 3 weeks, and to be honest, like, I couldn't tell if they were working or not. I could tell a little bit, but not the biggest. After seeing those photos, I said, you're not going to stop going to the gym. This year, I'm getting that summer body that I really wanted. Mind you, all bodies, every body is a summer body. Every body is a swimsuit body. And I want to normalize every body type, because I can work out and somebody else can work out and eat the same that I do, and we're just not going to look the same. We are literal snowflakes. Everyone's unique. Everyone's going to come out different with different results. They're going to look different, and we need to normalize that. So I've been working out and I saw these photos and I was like, that doesn't look like me. I can slowly start seeing that little thing in the middle that I'm obsessed with other men. I love it. That little, just like it splits their stomach with their abs. And I just, oh, makes me makes me think of something. We're gonna take some mental images this Valentine's Day, because we're gonna need them later on tonight, because we're all gonna be by ourselves anyways. So I wanted to tell you guys, so for Valentine's Day, I've been taking these photos and I've been going to see a movie by myself, which I advocate for so much. Obviously, we can't go to the movies. At least I don't think the majority of us can go see a movie right now, because our movie theaters are closed. And I have always gone to the movies so much. And I started hardcore going to the movies by myself. It is a very relaxing experience. I love it. It makes you sit there, watch the movie really intently, and feel the emotions that the characters are feeling, and kind of go through the emotions that you're feeling that brought you to the movie theater in the first place. So I totally recommend going to see a movie by yourself. The first movie I ever saw by myself, I was 15 or 16, I believe. And I went to go see Queen of Katwe, which is, I call it Disney indie film, which a lot of people are like, Disney can't have indie films. It's Disney. Everybody knows. However, people didn't really go see it. It's like the nature documentaries, like No Offense. I've never seen one, like the wildlife ones that Disney does every Earth Day. I've never seen a single one. And I feel like a lot of people don't go to the movies to see those. So that's what I kind of Disney indie film. So Queen of Katwe, it's on Disney Plus. If you get the chance and you have it, please stop what you're doing. Go watch it. It's incredible. Obviously a very diverse cast, but it's basically all people of color, and it's about chess. And people are like, the Queen's Gambit on Netflix. And I'm like, y'all didn't watch the original, because this woman is fierce and I love her. And I don't remember her name. I need to go watch it again. I haven't watched it since. It's incredible. I cried like 3 times in the movie theater, and I was shocked by myself. I was like, wow, I had a lot of built up emotion that was just stuck, because I, kind of going to high school and then going home and just kind of bottling everything in, especially in a time where I didn't know what my sexual orientation was. And I just watched this movie that had nothing to do with sexual orientation. And I just felt everything. I was like, this is emotional. I'm going to cry. And I cried so many times. So yeah, so there's that. That's what I usually do on Valentine's Day. This Valentine's Day, I'm uploading this podcast I'm very excited for. I probably am going to have to go work and do some other things, which kind of sucks. Because all I want, all I want is love that lasts. And I want someone to just like be there and cuddle and like bring me food. And like I'm all for 50-50 or like 100 relationships, like 100% on both sides. And like I would buy him food, but like, sometimes you just want to be, you know, not the one to buy the food. I want somebody else to buy me food so bad, so badly. Um, on this Valentine's Day. But beggars can't be choosers. We wait another year. So let's talk about love. And since it's Valentine's Day, I want to tell you guys my worst date story. Let me take a sip before we continue because everybody take a sip. This one is going to be crazy. So let's take it back. Let's take it back. It was probably, if I had to guess, the summer, maybe August of 2019. Like I said, I didn't start dating until February of 2019. I didn't come out to myself until December of 2018. So it had been 2 months before I had come out to myself and a couple of other people at Disney World, because I worked at Disney World for 2 years, had a couple of quote unquote friends at the time. And so then I started dating 2 months later in February. Again, when I say dating, I mean just literally going on dates because couldn't get past the second date. And so time had gone by. I had gone on a couple single dates with a couple different people. And then August comes around. And when I tell you, this is not what I was expecting at all, it's what I got. So for privacy reasons, we're not going to call these people what they are called. I kind of want to really, really bad. But let's just call this man MK. Let's call him MK. And yeah, let's call him MK. So we're talking, I believe we met on Tinder and we're talking, and I find out that he's in the college program, which if you don't know, people come from around the world, but the international college program is from other countries, other continents, and the college program is for students and things in the United States. So he's in the college program. He was from, I believe, Pennsylvania, and he was like my height, like a little bit shorter, brown hair, cute as all can be. And MK and I decided, hey, let's go to Disney Springs. Like, let's go to Disney Springs for our first date and see what's up. Let's go grab dinner and have fun and be excited. And this story gets worse and worse and worse, by the way. Like, you're going to hear it and you'll be like, oh, this is bad. And then it gets worse. And then it gets worse. So I'm going to put every little detail I can in here because it's an intense story. So try to keep up. For those Disney people out there, no, first of all, let me clarify, I'm not a Disney gay. If you ever call me Disney gay, we better back up. I am not one. I happen to work there. I am not one. I can get down with a Disney movie and get down with some Disney music. But let me tell you, I am a Disney person. I am not, or I'm a person who likes Disney, not a Disney person. There's a huge difference. So I worked at the Haunted Mansion. It is a very big detail in this story. So I worked at the Haunted Mansion. I'll leave it at that. So we go on our first date, and I want to say it's like 6 o'clock at night. 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11. Yeah. Yeah. Like 5 or 6. Okay. And mind you, I have work the next morning. However, this man is really cute. So we go on this date. We start talking, and we both kind of pay for like each other's meals. Like I pay for mine, he pays for his. Just kind of split it even, whatever. We eat at a burger place in Disney Springs. I don't remember the name of it, but I do know it was very good. So we go to this restaurant, we eat, we talk, cool. And then we decide to walk around, nothing out of the ordinary. We're kind of talking about, I skip small talk. If I want to ask what the weather's like and you live in the same state, there's no point. Like, we both know what the weather's like. What's the point? I think there are some simplistic questions that can be very interesting that you should ask. Go up to someone on a first date, ask them what their favorite dinosaur is, and ask them why, because I think it is very interesting and it will definitely be a conversation starter. Ask someone what their favorite color is. I think it's one of the best questions you can ask. I know personally that's why this podcast is called Deeper Conversations, because I can't answer a question without explaining. I can't do it. Like when I tell you my favorite color, I have to tell you why. And I kind of have to give you a second color because there's a different reason why it depends on what we're talking about. And so we walk around Disney Springs and we're having a good time, just answering deeper questions, talking about our lives back home, quote unquote, his in Pennsylvania and mine there, and what I was doing outside of Disney. She talks about a lot about the haunted mansion and asking me some questions about the haunted mansion and the kind of the background scenes and things like that and what goes on, and kind of talk about my job. So hours go by, TikTok, and then we decide, let's just go back into the car. And heads up, if you ever, people aren't gonna like this. If you don't live in New York City and you don't have a car, maybe just like don't date. Like, I don't know. But let me tell you what, college program kids typically don't have a car, and that's not a good idea. Plus, they leave you anyway. But dating someone without a car, or quote unquote going on dates with somebody without a car, is really rough. I had to pick him up, which was nice of me. And then I realized after I did it like 3 times, I was like, yeah, and not with him, like with different people in the college program. I was like, I gotta stop. I'm being way too nice, but I didn't. And then once I moved, I realized I can't do that anymore because I was being used for my niceties. So we get back in the car and we just sit, we talk. I'm the one driving. I could have left at any time, but he was so cute and I thought we were having a conversation. There were some awkward pauses. Sometimes he wouldn't look at me. It was weird. But like in my mind, I was like, this is so great. Like, we're having a great time. Like, let's keep going. And when I say that, I mean, let's keep going until 9 hours have passed. Mm-hmm. I had work early the next morning. We had spent 9 hours, four, maybe five of which were sitting in my car in the parking garage. It was uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable. I want to tell you something else. A 9 hour first date, don't do it. Keep it at 2 hours. And if it goes well, go on a second date. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. 9 hours on a first date is not the move. So, what we end up doing, I drive him back. Date is done. I start texting him, sort of dry conversations. Sometimes he would leave me on red. This is where it gets worse. So we talked about thrifting on our first date, and like cool like thrift stores, and I was like, oh, I know this like really cool one in a car shop, like let's go. So we set up a second date, and he was like, okay, like you can come pick me up. So I go straight from work. Now, mind you, I sat at my job for an extra 20 minutes waiting for a response because I didn't know if I was coming to pick him up or not. So then he said, okay, come over. So then, mind you, at 20 minutes waiting at work, and then I go in my car and I just want to double check because I've been in situations, plenty of situations, even by then, that I know I needed to ask. So I get in the car and I'm like, it's okay, right? And I wait probably another 45 minutes in the dead of August in heat in my car, barely turning my car on because I still don't know a lot about cars and like whether it runs the battery dry or not, stuff like that. Clearly, because I just said running the battery dry. I have no idea what that even means. So then I wait like 30 minutes for another response. So it's about 50 minutes, 60 minutes until he's like, okay, come over. I go over to these apartments and I spend another hour sitting in front of these apartments and I keep texting because at that point, like, come on, like, don't ghost me while I'm sitting at your apartment. I drove to your apartment. Like, like, don't be a dick. Like, tell me you don't like me, say it, which we're going to get into communication in another episode, plenty of other episodes. But it was so heartbreaking. I sat there for another hour. So it's been a total of 2 hours. I got stood up waiting for this man for 2 hours. If you ever are about to get stood up, let me tell you something. You're a bad bitch. Do not wait on a man. Do not wait on a woman. I don't know a lot about how many women do it, but women do it too. Don't do it. Wait 15 minutes is a great period. If you want to wait like 30, I've heard some people showing up after 30 minutes. That's it. Don't give it any more. 15 minutes is plenty of time, especially like, in terms of communication. If they're not showing up, they can give you a text. They can call you and they can tell you. So, anyways, I wait 2 hours for this man, no response. So I go back home and I thought that was the end of it. I was like, I can't with this man. Like, I just waited 2 hours outside. I never waited 2 hours anywhere anymore for anybody, mind you. So I've learned my lesson. Take it from me. So I thought it was the end. I'm sure you guys thought it was the end. It wasn't the end. Remember when I said that I worked at Haunted Mansion and his favorite ride was the Haunted Mansion? Well, guess who I got to see every couple weeks, every other day? Like, I saw this man so often. And I was like, well, here we go. I avoided him most of the time. And then I finally got annoyed that I was just kind of avoiding him when he came in. And there was one day I couldn't. So I'd been talking to this other guy on Tinder, and he's super cool. He's super cute. And we hadn't planned anything. We might have, not really sure. Great. So if you're not familiar with the Haunted Mansion, imagine a closed room. And if you close your eyes, imagine a closed room, like you're enclosed everywhere. And there's a couple set of doors, two to go into the stretching rooms, and then one to go outside, which that outside, those people are coming in. So you open the doors and the people come in. So I'm in the stretching room, so I have to go open the doors. So I go to open the doors. It is a very busy day in the park. I go and open the doors. Not only do I see MK standing there, I'm going to call this man Luke, the other Tinder guy. MK is standing there, and he's on what looks like, I can only assume, is a date with none only than Luke. So I open the doors, and immediately my face drops, and I was like, please have the right emotion. Spoiler alert, I did not. And I'm about to do it now. I cried, laughed so hard, so loudly. Now at the Haunted Mansion, you don't have to be morbid. You don't have to like not smile the entire time. Some people hate it. Some people are like, I'm glad that you're having a good time at work. So I'm laughing and people keep looking at me while they're walking in and they're like, is this man okay? Like, he's like hysterically laughing. And then I like had to like cold face myself while MK and Luke just walk in. I was like like I literally paused to wait for them to pass because I didn't want to like be too obvious. But at this point, all three of us had made eye contact. I think he knew he recognized me from Tinder. Luke did. And it was so funny. So I had to spend the next 3 minutes putting them in the stretch room. I'm in an enclosed space. The walls are coming down, and I couldn't stop laughing. I had to stare at them the entire time. And I was like, I have a list of things that have only happened, I swear, to me, and that would only happen to me. This is one of those things. I was like, karma. I don't know what I did, but karma put these two in my room, and I couldn't laugh. I couldn't stop laughing the rest of the day. I was like, this is too funny. Like, this is hilarious, and I love it. It is awful, but I love it at the same time. I was like, how dare you stand me up and then come into my place of work with another man I knew from Tinder, whatever. Again, you would think that's where the story ends. That is not where the story ends. Not only did I continue to see this man up until his program ended, because again, it was his favorite ride and I couldn't get out of that. And I saw him a lot and a lot. And sometimes I cried when I saw him. Sometimes I laughed when I saw him. You know, the story with Luke and MK. So then I go on a date with a man who I'm going to say by name because I love him and we're sort of still friends and I would 100% see him again and I'm sure he would be more than open to come seeing me wherever I am. His name is Liam. And I think, okay, there's been like two or three people. I actually, you know what? That might be a lie. He might be the only one I've been on more dates with. We went on like 5 dates, maybe seven, like somewhere in there. And I couldn't tell like what was going on. We never said anything. We weren't dating, but like we were going on dates. So it was cool. It was fun. I had a lot of good times with him. I don't know what would have happened if he stayed. He went back home to Kentucky. Um, I think Kentucky. Liam's probably gonna. I'm gonna send this to him. He's gonna be like, "That's not right." I think it's Kentucky. I'm 100%. Actually, I know it's Kentucky. Anyways, I digress. So I go on this date with Liam, and you're probably like, "Why is this relevant?" It's relevant. So I go on this date with Liam. We have a fun first date, and we talk about where he works. Liam worked at Pop Century, I believe. It was it was either All Star or Pop Century. I'm pretty sure it was Pop Century. And you might be asking yourself, why does this matter? Well, let me tell you where MK works. MK also works at Pop Century. So we have MK and we have Liam, who both work at Pop Century, and it didn't click until we got to our second date. We decided to go to Hollywood Studios. You guys, when I tell you this is one of my favorite dates, it was one of my favorite dates. We had a really good time. We ended up watching the fireworks together. It was really cute. We actually, I think on our third date, we went to get ice cream in his little pickup truck and it was so cute. Anyways, just reminiscing for a second because different times, different people, girl. I am not the same person. So we go on this second date and we go eat at the ABC commissary and we're eating. It's great. And like, we're having so much fun and we're just like having conversation. And I was like, hi, like, you work at Pop Century. I was like, it just kind of clicked. I should have asked you on the first date because I'm just curious. And I was like, do you know MK? And I said his name. And when I tell you this man, Liam gave me this stone cold face, looked at me and said, why? He said, why do you want to know? He was like, he wasn't mad, but he was like very concerned for my own well-being. And he was like, what, why, what's going on? Now, mind you, between MK and Liam and I's like thing, it probably had been a month's time. Um, and Liam was on his program, MK was on his program. They were on the program at the same time. Stone cold face, and he was like, why do you want to know? And I was like, I don't know. Why are you looking like that? I need you to tell me what's going on. And he was like, nah, I need you to what? So basically, I was like, I went on a date with MK. It lasted 9 hours, and he was baffled by that. And I was like, yep, not the greatest choice. I could see it like a park date lasting 9 hours, like if you're spending the whole day in the park, but like even then, crazy. So I'm like, we went on a date, and he was like, oh, you did. And I was like, mm-hmm. I was like, why? I was like, you need to tell me right now. Like, I need you to stop playing. He was like, I can't tell you. And I was like, that's funny. And again, at the time, I think I'm 19. Yeah, I'm 19 at this point already. Not that that matters, but I've been strong-handed ever since I was like 13, 14. But I was like, you're gonna tell me right now. I was like, I'm gonna leave this place knowing why. He was like, I can't tell you. And I was like, you're gonna do it. Go ahead. Because I've also been told I have the face. And by that I mean, oh, I have the face that kind of gives me whatever I want. And I know that sounds very privileged, and it is. And I have never said that really out loud. Other people have told me that, and which is very scary thought, by the way. However, I live with it, so I go with it. And he looks at me and he goes, here's why I wanted, I can't tell you, but I'm going to. And thank God that I put a fake name on this man because, ooh, girl. So he said, the reason I'm telling you this is because nobody at my place of work likes MK. And I was like, oh my God, what? He was like, yeah, he's not a good person. Um, we listen to his stories a lot, and like I've asked him some questions, things like that. It had come to their attention. And I don't know, I don't remember if he had explicitly said this to Liam or like a crowd or in secret or whatever. MK, remember when I said everything was going to get worse? This is MK home wrecked 2 homes. Okay. And you're thinking to yourself, great. Okay. Cool. You're probably not thinking that, but you're like, okay, like what's next? One of said couples was straight. Not that it matters, but one of them was straight. And the other couple was a gay couple. And obviously homewrecking in general is not good, but like for some reason when he said one of each, I was set off. I was like, I can't deal with this. I was like, this is not happening. I was like, I did not want to date with a homewrecker. What is going on? I was like, we spent 9 hours in a car together, and like this man, I don't know, could have pulled a knife on me. I don't really know. I don't really know. I was like, what is going on? I was like, what? My face the entire time, Liam's face the entire time. We both were looking at each other like, what is going on? What is happening? I cannot believe this is going on. Like the fact that you know MK, the fact that I know MK, and now I know you, and we're on a date together. It was the whole situation was again another thing on that list of things that would only happen to me. That was my worst date story. I've had a couple of different, I've had a lot of worst date stories, or at least bad date stories, but that one probably tops the cake. That one's my favorite. I feel like I haven't told a lot of people that. My sisters are probably watching. I don't think I've ever told them that story. I only came out 6 months ago, which I want to do an episode on. But it only came out 6 months ago, and I've slowly started to reveal the things that I did prior to coming out. And this is one of those stories that I kept under wraps. And so I'm going to hear about this later. I just know it. That's cold coffee. That's gross. So I want to say, I was going to tell you my best date story. However, to be honest, I haven't had one. I've had dates that I've loved. Pretty much every single date I had with Liam was very exciting. I loved our dates. They were so cute. They were up my alley. And all of the park dates that we had were very minuscule because he knew that I didn't love Disney and that I didn't want to be around it all the time. And like I said, there was a date where we went to like in his pickup truck I didn't know he owned. And he came and we sat in his pickup truck and ate ice cream, and it was magical. Um, which is a gross word to say. It was magical. Um, but it, in my mind, it's not a best date story. Why? I haven't had my best date yet. And as cheesy and corny as it sounds, because I am a built-in Hallmark relationship machine that can come out with inspirational quotes out of my ass. And so I haven't had my best date story. And so instead of telling you, I could tell you some good date stories like the one with Liam, or I could tell you what I really do want. So I'm going to tell you that instead. Because I've been single for 20 years and been caught up in the hookup world, and I've been trying to go on dates, and I've gotten every excuse in the book, which I'm so excited to talk to you guys about, because these guests are going to tell their stories and I'm going to tell mine on top of them, and I think it's going to be a good podcast. Like, we're going to go on a wild ride. So I'm going to tell you what I want. And it's weird because saying this out loud to people, I feel like it's probably not popular anymore, which sucks. But I'm almost thinking that it is as popular, but everything else gets masked by every other issue in the gay community. And by that, I mean, in the media, I feel like you see people hooking up. I mean, even look at, okay, Tiny Pretty Things, incredible show on Netflix. I 1000% recommend. It is so good. There's a interesting relationship in that show, where the character is gay and the other character doesn't announce his sexuality, assumable, like maybe pan or bi, or just like very curious. He had a girlfriend and then broke it off with the guy and was like, I can't do this anymore. And then it was just kind of back and forth. The reason that I say that is because in the media, I feel like that's what we're seeing. We're seeing, and then he goes off into this stranger's home from Grindr, literally shows off Grindr. There's another show. What is it called? It's on Netflix. It's a Christmas like miniseries. It's incredible. I don't remember what it's called, but Netflix has been very open about like gay relationships and things like that. The brother, gay, also on Grindr, um, and found a relationship through Grindr, which 100% can happen. I think it's rare, but it does happen. But my point in saying that is that I feel like media is masking kind of the real romance. Like, we just this year in 2020 got our first ever Lifetime and I think Hallmark movie, maybe just Lifetime, with a real gay couple. Not only that, they're actually married in real life, which is so cute. And it's a step in the right direction. It's progress. And I'm very happy about it. I still haven't seen it. Astronomical, crazy. Um, but I feel like media is mostly masking and showing the hookups and things like that, and not actually, we want the, I think a lot of us want the Nicholas Sparks. Like, we want I'm sorry, I can't think of any Nicholas Sparks. Silver Linings, the Playbook. What is the famous one with what's her face? Oh my goodness. The last song I think is a Nicholas Sparks movie. Um, the one I haven't seen. You guys, this is absolutely insane. And I'm gonna Google it because I need to tell you, because I haven't seen it, which is so crazy. I am 100% um a hopeless romantic, which I'm gonna call a romantic because a friend of mine said I needed to stop saying hopeless romantic because The Notebook. I've never seen The Notebook. That's the other one. Because why am I hopeless? I'm not hopeless. I'm hopeful. But even then, like, why is there hope involved? You're just romantic. I just like romantic things, which I'm going to get into. So, anyways, I think media masks, and I think, there's a lot of us that do want that Notebook relationship. Actually, I've never seen The Notebook. I don't know if anyone dies. Maybe if somebody dies, maybe that's not what we want. I don't know. I need to watch it so I can fact check myself. But we want those cute relationships, and they're not shown that much. And I'm going to just call it as it is. Call Me by Your Name is not one of those movies. And I'm not going to talk about the age gap, like, cool. Like, my parents have like an 11-year age gap. That's not what bothers me in that movie at all. There's a lot of stuff that bothers me in that movie, but Call Me by Your Name is not the relationship that I want. I'm sorry about it. Also, hey, if Army Hammer hasn't been going through the stuff that he's been going through, he's still not that attractive. Period. So, anyways, same with like the Love Simon one's cute. It is very romanticized. I love it. It's cute. It's still not the movie that I was expecting. Like I want the good movie where it's not like it's cheesy, but like still a solid like point, aka the 27 dresses movie of gay movies, like the 13 going on 30. Like give me one of those classic romantic movies as a gay movie. I would love that so much. So anyways, I kind of hinted at what I want, but I'm a romantic. I want hikes. I want picnics in the park. I want kissing and dancing in the rain. I want cute coffee shops. I want cute bookstores and libraries and taking cute, fun little trips, taking grand vacations across the ocean. And, I want, and I want Netflix movies in. I want dance parties out in the street. I want romantic stuff. I don't want it to be a constant, we're always staying in. And I don't want a constant, we're always going out. I want somewhere in between, but I want everything to be romantic. That's what I want. I want it and I want it bad. I want it now. So if you're single and you're gay and you're listening to this, hi, welcome, hello. Um, I love you already. Just kidding. So I think in another episode, I'll probably talk about more of that, more of my type, but it's Valentine's Day. And I think I've talked enough about myself and enough about my worst date story and what I really want. And hopefully, you got a touch of who I am and what this podcast is going to be about. In the next episode, we are going to have Jocelyn Fox. And I'm very excited about it. We're going to have Jocelyn Fox on RuPaul's Drag Race season 6, sixth place is what she placed. And I'm very excited to have a drag queen on. We're going to talk about the issues in the drag queen community, and how that mixes with the issues in part of the LGBTQ community and all things RuPaul and what goes on there. So stay tuned for that podcast. And I'm just so excited to have it. I'm so excited to be here. And we're doing it. We're doing the shit. And I hope the audio was good. If it's not, I'm going to fix it in the next episode before I have Miss Fox on. I'm hoping I stayed far enough from the mic because I have a loud voice. And if you're watching this, or if you're watching this on YouTube and you have a better solution, let me know. But I look very professional on YouTube. Like I can see myself right now, obviously. And like, hi, hello, how are you? I look real cute. I'm wearing this I'm wearing this little beanie that I got way back when. It says sorry about my hair. It was actually Alfie Day's merchandise long ago. And this was the first beanie I'd ever owned, and I love it. I'm obsessed with it. It looks so cute. Anyways, I digress. Enough about me, enough about how I look. I don't have an outro. If you guys have an outro to this, let me know. But for now, this has been Deeper Conversations with your host, Matthew Silvers, and I will see you guys in the next one.